What is going on, friends, and welcome back to the Minecraft Hub channel. So today we're going to be doing another evolution of Hermitcraft video, and we're going to be looking at Joehills, one of the oldest hermits who's been around since season 1 and was invited by Generic B. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, and if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We have a lot of other Minecraft content, and we've covered some of the other hermits already. So starting off in season 1, Generic B actually built a house for him in the spawn village, but he went out and built this ship and a little wooden house over there, which you can see, and then he had a glass building up in a mountain, which was his redstone labs, where he basically just built really bad redstone contraptions, and it was pretty funny to watch. In Season 2, Joehills was really only present for the first part of the season due to the birth of his daughter, but he did build some historical replicas, which kind of continued on throughout the seasons, and his base was actually inside of this mountain here. He helped Zombie Cleo build her house, which was the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, and then he also built a huge wool collection system with also a huge storage system. Inside this mountain was his base and also the wool storage system. He gave other hermits the ability to use this wool storage system as long as they sheared and replaced the wool in the chests. His base in this season was never really completed, but it was still a very cool replica of some historical builds and a very cool little cave build. As you can see here, he didn't really get the time that he wanted to put into this base, so it's not really complete or anything like that, but it is still his Season 2 base. And that brings us to Season 3, where he was also very inactive due to his new family. But he did build a base at the northern frontier, as he called it. This was at the northern world border, where they had the border set in case there was a big new update to Minecraft and they wanted to move. He also started a project in Hermitcraft, which was supposed to be a replica of the bar from Cheers, but unfortunately was never able to finish due to his inactivity in this season. In Season 4, he wanted to replicate the movie Field of Dreams, so he has his giant farm field here, and as you can see, a baseball diamond in the center. He's also got a barn and storage system here with his nether portal in one of those barns, and then the actual farmhouse, which was a very clean looking house just made out of stone, and it looks like nether quartz. He kind of kept a similar theme to Season 3 in the sense that he built far away from other hermits, considering he wasn't in the mesa biome. In Season 5, he really started to do some major builds with Red Sky Bay, which his first build was that Red Sky Bay sign, which was a 3-tier tower, and then he built a D&D inspired castle, which is right here. The castle is absolutely incredible, and I especially like the walls of the castle. The design of it is very cool and very unique. I've never seen something like that before. And he also uses the purple blocks from the end biomes, which you don't see used too often, mostly because of how hard it is to acquire those blocks. The castle was very detailed, and he put little builds inside each of the rooms, just bookshelves, chairs, things like that to make it look more like the inside of an actual castle. He definitely had a lot of time to put into this season, and it paid off because he built a lot of incredible things in this one. The view from the top of the castle shows off the rest of the Red Sky Bay and all the other incredible builds around it. He is fairly close to Mumbo Jumbo's base in this season, and you can actually see it right there off in the distance. If we drop down, we can also see the front of the base and the design he put on top of the castle, which I thought looked very nice and paired well with the rest of it. Here we have his pigs in a boat, and then we have the rest of his base over here. He had a lot of small buildings next to his giant map, which was his storage systems that he had to build everything else that he did in Red Sky Bay. Around the castle, he tried to create a kind of moat, and it turned out pretty well because the bridge looks very cool, especially with the massive towers and walls right there. Moving on to Season 6. Season 6, he decided to be more of a nomad and not actually build a real base. But he did have a little Parthenon next to the spawn area of Season 6. He did this little build mostly out of glass and quartz, and then he had the Ministry of Truth, which he did a multi-tiered tower which extended underground, and on top he had the armor stands, which represented each of the members of Hermitcraft, and his own was wearing diamond armor and an elytra. He had actually died and had to replace his armor at the very end of the season and the bookshelf to make it look like he was holding something. Moving on to Season 7, we have his winery, which he updated the blocks after the 1.16 update, just to kind of use the new blocks, use a lot of blackstone, which kind of fit his winery better. You can see his giant fields of berries here, which he used to make the wine, of course. And in the distance, you can see the lighthouse that he has been building in this season. This whole area is called the Strait of Joehills, which he named after himself, of course. And the lighthouse is actually a 1-to-1 model of the Tower of Hercules from Spain. Joehills has had a lot of time in Season 7. He swapped bases with XB Crafted and built him a automatic sorting machine. And under the Strait of Joehills, he's terraformed a ravine and built 3 mob spawners down there. In this season, he has also sworn off diamonds, and whenever he finds them, he covers them in lava. He does deem netherite acceptable though, so he can use that. He has been very involved with other hermits in Hermitcraft Season 7 and is actually the winner of the vote for dog catcher. So he cleans up the stray dogs and watches over the pile of diamonds in the center of the shopping district. Him and Zombie Cleo work together a lot, and they're actually currently working on a zoo near her base. This zoo is not a normal zoo, of course, and it will actually contain an exhibit for each of the hermits. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like down below, and if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We have a lot of other Minecraft content, and if you enjoyed this one especially, we have more videos of the other hermits, so be sure to check those out. They're all compiled in a playlist, which you should be able to find down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.